Well, it is a good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome back again. It's been a little while since we did it, but the My Team series is once again up and running. Round 18 now we are in the series, in a different way. So we're in Season 1, Episode 18. Concerning Weekend in Singapore, rightly so. Got some more facility improvements, and we have dual development, so we can choose if we want to do it. But the reason I'm doing single development here is because we can get a chance. We get both the upgrades earlier than if we did dual development. So hopefully it can work. We put another upgrade on the car. Look at that, back up to fourth in the R&D chart, just behind McLaren. But we've got that. We now have a decent little stride really ahead. If you wonder why I'm saving R&D points in case we have a regulation change, I am prepared. I am ready. Anyway, as we make our way, just making some more facility upgrades then, doing some more on the engineering, the personnel, and the corporate side of things. Overall, we're just now getting a flow. We've got the money to do stuff, and we can just splash some cash on some more upgrades here. There's your activities then. We did those earlier, and that's just what we've got left. Another development upgrade. Durability upgrade, I should say, really. Sorry. So yeah, it just helps. If you don't know what durability does, it just helps with how long it lasts. There's your R&D chart, by the way. We are fourth. Mercedes and Ferrari are tussling for the fastest car. McLaren a bit in no man's land. It's just third. Harder tyre allocation. And, well, before we do that, I have to make sure that I haven't made any mistakes with the components on the engine. I changed one for Victor Martin, sorry. And speaking of Victor Martin, we're not driving him because we are driving Gabriele Mini. Let's go to the garage for qualifying.
It's a United States love affair with Formula One at the moment, so what a thrill for everyone today to see our drivers lapping COTA at full hot lap speed. It's the Circuit of the Americas, and it's qualifying.
So on our first lap here, in qualifying for the United States, up and around the final corner we go, foot to the floor, battery all the way to the line of 32.461. That is going to be P3, only 0.3 of a second away from Hamilton's time, and that was quite comfortably enough to get through. Albon topped the session from Kimi Antonelli, the championship leader. Lewis Hamilton P3 from Piastri, ourselves Leclerc, Norris, Russell, Sainz, Lindblad, Verstappen in 11th, Cadillac was Bottas in 12th, Gasly, Behrman, Ocon, Hajar, Perez in the 7th to fall at the first hurdle, Lawson, Alonso, Martin, Hulkenberg, Gabriel Bortoletto, Franco Colapinto, and Lance Stroll, 6 tenths behind Colapinto, rounds off the order. On to Q2 then. We're through quite comfortably and we seem to have some decent pace here. On our first run on used tyres here, around the final corner, the tyres just did not grip up. A 33.0. I think that was slower than Stroll's time in Q1, I'm not too sure. Anyway, round at the turn 19 and round towards turn number 20 we go. Around the final corner and foot to the floor. We will cross the line and we will go into the top 10. And well, safe to say, we are into Q3 in qualifying. We are through and we will be competing for pole position. If we are there or not, I have no idea. Russell tops the session from Oscar Piastri in P2, from Kimi Antonelli in P3. The four contenders for the championship in the top four was Lando Norris, the reigning champion, in P4. Carlos Sainz for Williams in 5th, Hamilton 6th, Verstappen 7th, Mini in 8th, and then Leclerc in 9th. 0.3 of a second, by the way, split the top 9. It is game on in qualifying. Alex Albon in P10, then a 7 to fall at the second hurdle. Ollie Behrman are with Lindblad for Racing Bulls in P12. There's Pierre Gasly, Hajar, Perez, and then Esteban Ocon, and then finally Valtteri Bottas. Behrman was only half a second away and he got eliminated. That's how close it is now towards the rear end of the season. On our first lap here, we're chucking 2 new tyres. We've got 2 new sets, so we might as well use them all. Understeer off the final corner. Luckily, it didn't get rid of our lap time. 31.952. Personal best in qualifying so far, but still, not the times we need to find. Anywho, we've got one final chance at here. Climb the hill on the run towards turn number 1. You want to flick it in, but in the rear end, a little bit of a wobble there as we apply. We wanted to apply the power. We gained some time back on the exit though, so we're somehow only half a tenth down to make our way through the S's, through 3, through 4, through 5, and then through the long turn number 6 before you go through turn number 7. We somehow found an improvement in the first sector. We go uphill through 8, a little bit of a correction, then we go on the exit of 9. Use a little bit of battery on the run, flat through 10 towards turn number 11. Another hairpin here in Texas. You want to lift and coast and then flick the car in. Apply the power, get on the battery a lot earlier, and there you go. Look how much better of an exit we've got. A tenth of a second up on the rundown now towards turn number 12. You have to be able to cut this so much. In this curve at turn 12, you can cut so much. You can gain at least a tenth there. We chuck it in. Somehow, we've cut it very decently there. We found 1.5 tenths as we put our foot to the floor. Battery only in medium because we want to make sure we got some more battery for this triple right hander of 16, 17, 18. On the exit of 15, we then go flat through 16, flat through 17, flat through 18. Turn the battery off momentarily to make sure we have a little bit more battery to deploy. And we found really 2 tenths through there. Through turn 19, battery again on the run towards turn number 14. Flick it on in. Much better final corner. Got it rotated as we put our foot to the floor. 4.5 tenths up. And it's only good enough for P9, but can't complain with that one at all. Based on the R&D chart, we should be qualifying 7th and 8th, but, I mean, hey-ho. R&D chart is sometimes wrong. Anyway, it's Charles Leclerc on pole position, out of nowhere. Really, from Charles Leclerc in P1. Norris, the reigning champion, second. From Hamilton, Verstappen, probably one of the best qualifying of the season, in fourth. And it's Piastri, Albon, Antonelli, Russell, Mercedes, 7th and 8th. Ourselves in ninth, Carlos Sainz in P10. Mercedes, the Constructors' Championship leaders, in P7 and P8. Let's go to the grid. For the United States, the Texas the Grand Prix, in the Lone Star State, who's going to come out on top? So, let's go to the grid.
Here we are then in one of the fastest growing cities in the United States, the fabulous Austin in the great state of Texas. The circuit itself, 14 miles southeast of the city centre, has been home to the US Grand Prix since 2012, the latest in a long list of iconic tracks to have that honour. We have 10 turns to the left and 10 turns to the right here at the fantastic Circuit of the Americas. And there's overtaking opportunities into turn 1 and turn 12 at this anti-clockwise track that's 3.4 miles long. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole, edging out Lando Norris, who'll start from P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Verstappen, Piastri, Alex Albon, and Antonelli, Russell, Mini, Sainz, and Ollie Behrman, Lindblad, Gasly, and Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Hadjar, Perez, Ocon, Valtteri Bottas, and Liam Lawson, Alonso, Martins, Hulkenberg, Bortoletto, Colapinto, and Lance Stroll brings the grid to a close. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today? And alongside me for this afternoon's commentary, Naomi Schiff. Good afternoon, Gnomes. I know what we've got to do before the start of today's race, but what about our driver? What do the final hours look like for them?
Well, every driver certainly has their own way of preparing themselves before a race. But I can tell you that pre-race rituals are a real thing. When I was in go-karting, I used to touch every wheel in a specific sequence before I got into the kart. And then I stepped up to cars and had a specific set of fireproof base layers just for race day. So watch the drivers when they're on the grid. Some may be sitting on the floor and isolating, others may be up to other things that they do. But these little things really help their minds get ready for the race.
Welcome to the Grand Prix. There's this quick strategy, medium hard, 1.7 laps down on the fuel, and based on the WR race I did, that's probably still too light. We line up P8 after a grid penalty for Lewis Hamilton, which drops him down to P13 here, and we're not going to waste any time. Quickly just cut to us lining up in the grid spot 0.3 meters away from the most ideal parking spot. Not that it really matters. Anywho, In the United States, we go to the 5 red lights, and for round 18 in Season 1, we go racing to the opening corner of the circuit. A very good getaway there, already looking to make the move on Kimi Antonelli. Slightly tap maybe the rear left tyre as we go in towards turn number 1. 3 wide, I think, with Alex Albon as well. As we go through turn 1, already up in the 5th position here. We're now going to look to try and go around the outside of Oscar Piastri and get through into 4th in the race. Charles Leclerc loses out on the lead because Lando Norris has gone brave into the S's and has gone through into the lead of the United States Grand Prix as we go through turn 8 and then through turn 9. Piastri had a look on the inside, but we had the momentum to be able just to slam that door shut as we use a little bit of battery on the rundown now towards turn number 11 here. Verstappen ahead of us as we go on the braking. Going to try and set up the exit here. Verstappen seems to be struggling so much. Look how much of an exit we get. We get a 10th better exit, and Verstappen seems to just have no battery on this straight as we absolutely ease on past the Dutchman, and from 8th on the grid, we're into the podium positions. Lando Norris leads the way here in the United States. And we can go to the replay of the race start. Norris on the right, Leclerc on the left. Norris got an absolute belter of a race start as they climb the hill towards turn 1. Behind it was actually we were 4 wide with both Mercedes and Albon there as we went through the opening corner of the circuit. But side by side, the top 2 in the Grand Prix go towards the S's, flat through turn 2. On the run towards turn 3, turn 4, Norris inside to outside to lead the United States Grand Prix. And Lando Norris, the reigning champion, will say thank you very much. Lando Norris will be absolutely buzzing with that. The man who wants to reclaim the lead of the championship he's trying to defend. He will be over the moon to be leading the way here, but Charles Leclerc is not done yet. Leclerc in the slipstream, Leclerc to the outside line on the run down now towards turn number 12. Charles Leclerc looking to make this move as they go under braking side by side through turn number 12 as they apply the power on the exit towards turn 13. Charles Leclerc with a little bit of contact gets back through into the lead as Antonelli and Piastri duel away in Texas, and Antonelli able to fend off Oscar Piastri, but game on once again for the lead of the Grand Prix because Lando Norris is getting closer, going through to the outside line, taking the lead of the United States Grand Prix once again in a much more simpler way. The world champion does get it as we head around the final corner to make our way towards turn number 1. We are sticking with these guys, but it's probably going to be the question of when do we get jobs. We make our way towards turn 1. Charles Leclerc looking around the outside line, wheel to wheel. Look up ahead the road. Look at Lando Norris and Charles Leclerc do battle again. Through turn 2, Norris chops the nose off and he's able to hold on to the lead of the Grand Prix. And then we go to lap 6 here where you can see they've absolutely gapped us now. We are 2.3 seconds away from Norris, but we are maintaining a somewhat gap to Russell and Antonelli. But then if we skip to lap 7, well, we're back. We're back with Lando Norris. Leclerc's absolutely flown away here. But Norris's tyres, maybe he's backed off a bit just to make sure he's quicker towards the end of the stint. But we're back within a second of Lando Norris now. And it's game on again for P2 in this race. I thought they were gone, but apparently not. Anyway, we have to just go all in here on lap 10 of 28. The pit window is now open. And, well, Norris is starting to pull away again. We go on the exit of turn 11 here, and we lose a 10th on the exit. The tyres feel absolutely knackered here. And we are going to tell Mark we are pitting at the end of this lap. Lap 10 of 28, usually you'd think it's an early pit stop, but in Texas, the hard tyres are 2 steps harder than the medium. So the hard tyres can last for an absolute age in the US. It's similar to Belgium as well. Belgium has 2-step harder tyres. So as we make our way through turn number 15, foot to the floor, make our way then flat through 16, 17, and turn number 18 here. We're pitting at the end of this lap, so we can just use as much battery as we want. We know we're going to regain it all in the pit lane. As we head around turn 19 and then in towards pit road, we are going to go. We have to attack it here because we are going for an undercut here. And I think personally good at pit entry there. We give up a little bit of time there, but just like WR, we enter the pit lane with 78 kilometers an hour. Difference in WR. I panic broke because I didn't see a board to indicate where we had to stop. Anywho, we rotate into the pit box here, and we need to hope for not a slow pit stop, and, well, the stop was meant to be 2.5. We double that because it's been a 5-second pit stop here. And, well, we should have been ahead of Gasly and Hulkenberg and maybe even the Racing Bulls, I want to say, of Liam, of maybe Arvid Lindblad as well. So, not ideal. Some extra content for overtaking, I guess, but I mean, you don't like having these slow pit stops because it's just so frustrating when you're trying to do a strategy, because now we have to, say if Lando goes an extra lap, we have to use this lap to get back with Lando, and then we have to use another lap to undercut him. Hulkenberg's out of battery though. We're gaining on the German driver, going to the inside line. He tries to late cover it off and then realises we're already there. We go on the inside at turn number 12. With a little bit of a drift, we get through into P15. But we're not done yet, because the Frenchman of Pierre Gasly is up next as we apply the power, make our way, diving on the inside line, going past the Frenchman, and nicely done into the top 14 here. But again, with another bit of oversteer here. I mean, it's just been aggressive, really, because we have to make the undercut work here. And, well, we now have to look forwards. We have to look to the Cadillac of Perez here, who, again, another one who hasn't pitted in this Grand Prix. Just look at the grip we've got. We're going to try and use our grip to go around the outside line, just trying to find any door opening here. But, mate, I'm just thinking about, let's try and set something up. There you go, on the exit of turn number 9, flat through 10, Perez and the drift on the exit of 9. On the rundown now towards turn number 11, we're going to dive on the inside line of the Cadillac, and into 12th we go, and crucial moves in the Grand Prix, because we have to continue to pursue and attack. Next up is Liam Lawson in the Racing Bulls, and we go through turn 19. Lawson not using his battery, we're going to dive on the inside line. Probably a bit silly because we could have got overtaken, but nonetheless, we're into P11, make that P10 because Lindblad didn't, make that P9, P8, P7 now, because others are starting to box here. That 30 to 28, Charles Leclerc and Lando Norris and Antonelli, I believe, have all come to the pit lane, likewise with Behrman and Hadjar. So, we were 7th into turn 19, into turn number 1, Antonelli, Hamilton, and Norris in the pit lane. The undercut has worked. It has kind of worked. We have got through. Into turn 1, we are P2. The undercut's worked, but I mean, it could have been so much more if we didn't have that slow pit stop. Anyway, game on for the podiums, for the podium positions here. P2 and P3 up for grabs. If we fight so much, P4, P5, P6, P7 could all come at a matter of time. Now as we make our way down in towards turn number 12, Lando Norris gaining on the rear towards the braking zone, the final corner of the middle sector here. We defend the inside line. Norris looks around the outside line. We go slightly deep with a minor lockup, but then we are able to hold on to that position. Lando Norris tried to switch back, but wasn't able to do anything on that particular occasion. We just have to rinse and repeat the defense again. Rinse and repeat turn 11 to try and set up the exit here. We actually gain time, pulled away slightly from Hamilton. This time we make the run down the back straight, down towards turn 12 once again. Lando Norris going to be gaining on our rear. All the while, Norris, the world champion, trying to reclaim the championship lead, going to the outside once again, side by side for second and for third. We do what Verstappen did to Norris in 2024, I believe it was, and just defend. We had to do everything. So maybe it was either 2024 or 2025. I think it was 2024 because that's when there was a Ferrari 1-2. Anyway, to turn 1 once again, where Lando Norris looking for the outside line. We're going wheel to wheel again, giving Lando the most minimal amount of room, but just enough here. And once again, head at the apex, so we're just going to do the Verstappen rule and squeeze him on out wide. It's just continuous here. We're just going to the regulations really in F1. So we go on the braking here. The front left not wanting to cooperate. We go off the road. Lando will say thank you very much, and our heroic defense ended very shortly. Anyway, we still got a podium to defend at least. So Lewis Hamilton versus Gabriele Mini for the final podium position here. But we want to try and stick with Lando Norris here, because say if Lando's now low on battery, if we can stay within half a second, we can easily gain that back on the main straight if he doesn't have any battery to deploy. As we head round turn number 19, there is some time gained. Charles Leclerc leads, and Leclerc is probably comfortably going to win this one here. We put our foot to the floor and head towards turn number 1 here. 5.8 tenths is the gap. We gain ever so slightly. We gain a tenth. I'm thinking of the dive bomb move to the inside line, trying to throw Lando off with a massive front left lockup, almost collecting the rear of Norris. Luckily, we didn't hit him. Still within the second of Norris on lap 21 of lap 28 here. Now we make our way all the way down towards turn number 12. Once again, draining that battery. Hamilton is coming again, going to look to sit on the podium again. We go aggressive to the inside line. Hamilton looks around the outside line here. Hamilton was actually ahead of the apex, so we kind of have to leave him the room, but Hamilton just turns into our car. Hamilton just turns into the car into our car. We now have underbody damage here, and well, there's Hamilton's view of it. We leave him in the room. We don't change our steering, on the exit, and look, he just turns into us. They need to fix the coding with these AI. Like, they shouldn't turn into a car when they're literally there. It just defeats the purpose of squeezing, in a sense. But anyway, lap 22 of 28. We're going on the defence again. Hamilton's going on the attack again. We're going wheel to wheel as a 7-time world champion. We are just about alongside. We go on to braking. We get to the apex first, and we send our way through. Not giving Hamilton an inch to play with here. Because of what he did, we don't really want to now just be nicey to him. As we make our way now down towards turn number 1, we go on the braking, maybe a little bit late because again the front left just locking up, which sends us on deep. Hamilton gets the exit, but then through towards turn 2 we go. Towards the S's side by side, we have the battery with the inside line. We have the shorter line to be able to hold on to this position. Lap 24 28, the laps are ticking on down here in Texas. And it's game on for the podium once again. This is for the final podium position as we make our way now down towards turn number 12. Hamilton going to the inside line. We give him the squeeze, then we turn out of it. We go wheel to wheel. Hamilton goes in a little bit deep. Milo contact between us on the exit of 12 towards turn number 13. We have the inside line here. Going to send our car in deep at the apex first again. And just giving Hamilton again another potato of his own medicine based on those 2 times at turn 12. Exit then of turn number 15. Then we go flat through 16, flat through 17, and flat through turn 18 towards the penultimate corner of turn number 90. Just trying to get a gap whatsoever. The front end doesn't bite. A little bit of a correction as well on the exit of 19. We head through turn 20, try to get a decent exit again. Much smoother compared to turn 19. As we make our way down towards turn number 1, Hamilton gaining on the rear, going to our outside line. We go defensive. We're going to try our signature move and just try and shuffle Hamilton wide, but he reads it, goes for the old switcheroo. We make our way towards turn number 2. Hamilton swiped us, and around we've gone. We went 90 degrees around. Luckily held the car, luckily still right on the rear Piastri, but that was just like a clear swipe from Hamilton. Fair enough, a very good switchback from Lewis Hamilton, but then on the exit towards turn 2, he just swipes us. Very good avoidance from the 2 Mercedes as well, Russell especially, because he had like no time. Well, I say no, he didn't have much time to react to that. And yeah, look, Hamilton just swipes us. Russell unaware where we are going to go. Very brave to stay that close, but anyway. Nonetheless, we can still get a top 6 here, at least. Or we can still get a top 4 here, at least, if the Mercedes duel like this. Because in turn 13 and 12, they continue to duel and dice in the Lone Star State. It's going to be Leclerc from Norris. And based on this battling, Hamilton's going to get his podium. As Antonelli gets the exit through turn 15. Towards turn 16, 17 and 18 we go. The 2 silver arrows not giving each other an inch. As we make our way down towards turn 19. Inside for Kimi, outside for George. As they apply the power. Slows up Piastri as well. We're going to look to dive on the inside of the Wonder from down under. A foot to the floor. We get through on Oscar Piastri. And that was an easy move done because of how much they were slowing up. But now the 2 Mercedes will continue to duel once again. Making their way down towards turn 1. Russell keeping his on the inside line. They make minor wheel contact as they make their way towards turn number 2. The outside line for Jules. The inside for Kimi. Turns to the inside for Jules and the outside for Kimi. Through the S's they run wheel to wheel. And George Russell is able to hold on to 4th. We're going to try and get brave and go all the way around the outside of Kimi Antonelli. Oscar Piastri now tries to make the move on us as well. But we're able to hold on to 6th in the race, but now Piastri is going to come back at us in towards turn number 12. Here we go on the brake, and again slightly similar with the front left. Micro lockups on this occasion sends us in slightly deep, but we're able to hold on to 6th position nonetheless. On the final lap of this Grand Prix, it's going to be Leclerc from Oscar Piastri. The 2 Mercedes started closing up to Hamilton again, but it's too little too late for George Russell to try and get on that podium here. We go a little bit deep on the exit of 13, flat through 14 towards turn number 15, just defending the inside line. Piastri trying to set up the exit here, but out in front, Charles Leclerc makes his way around the final corner. And in the Lone Star State, for the 2nd time in his career, Charles Leclerc will win the United States Grand Prix, crawling over the line. Leclerc takes maximum points, whilst we come around the final corner. Points pulled away from Williams. We come home to finish 6th.
And Leclerc to the line, to the checkered flag. It's King Charles today, he wins.
Yes, it absolutely was, and what an incredible victory and an important milestone for them as we head into the business end of the season. You know that that's really going to matter from a confidence perspective to get them to the end of the season with potentially even more of these victories.
There's room for 3 on their podium, but only ever 1 right at the top. Let the celebrations begin. And who gets to take the top step of the podium? Yes, it is I, Leclerc, Charles Leclerc on top. Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
So Charles Leclerc wins it from Lando Norris, who gets P2. Lewis Hamilton in P3 for Ferrari. George Russell then in 4th for Mercedes, with Kimi Antonelli in 5th. Then it's Gabriele Mini, ourselves in P6, another 8 points on the board. Piastri in P7. Then it's Verstappen in 8th from Alex Albon in P9 for Williams. Williams need to stop doing these 2-stop strategies here. Verstappen from 3rd finishes 8th, by the way, I just noticed. Williams just needs to stop doing this. Albon, Sainz, Hadjar, Lawson, Gasly, Limper, Perez, Ocon, Bottas, Victor Martin, Alonso, Bortoletto, Hulkenberg, Behrman, Colapinto, and Lance Stroll will round off the finishing order. Absolutely country miles away. I don't know why I did 2-stop. Lando Norris then retakes the lead of the Drivers' Championship. Antonelli held it for a race. So it's Lando from Kimi Antonelli, 5 points split them. George Russell the long shot. Leclerc and Piastri still within a slight hope, but then they need to have an absolute perfection of an end to the season. They are tied on points, so it's game on for 4th in the World Championship as well. And then it's Hamilton from Verstappen, Hadjar, Martin, Mini. So we're 2 cars back in the top 10. And then it is going to be Albon, Sainz, Gasly, Lawson, Colapinto, Perez, Lindblad, Hulkenberg, Alonso. And then the 5 yet to score still in 2026. Behrman, Bottas, Ocon, Bortoletto, and Lance Stroll. Breaking news, those 5 are out of the contention for the World Championship. Devastating, I know. Mercedes lead the way by now only 16 points ahead of McLaren. It's come down marginally, I believe, in the Constructors. Ferrari in 3rd was a long shot, and it's Red Bull ourselves in P5. We have that gap now, 26 points to Williams, who are in 7th. It's Alpine, VCarb, Cadillac, Audi, and Aston, and then the sole team yet to score, Haas, in P12 in the Constructors' Championship. Another episode of the Light Team done. It's more points on the board, but it's what could have been if Hamilton didn't decide to swipe us. We head to the Mexico City Grand Prix. We have Mexico, Brazil, Vegas, Qatar, and then Abu Dhabi to finish off the season. Not long to go until we head to season 2. But again, if you did enjoy, like and subscribe, and I'll see you for the next one. Ciao, adios. Bye.